Tear gas feels like you're just in hell in reality. I mean, if you get a good spray and now you're just there and you're just sitting there and you're watching this dude just like can't breathe.
I also seen in county jail recently, when I was getting resentenced, I seen someone who was going through a mental health breakdown. He was going through the breakdown for at least 4 or 5 days. You could see him slowly deteriorating. So at some point, the sheriffs decided that was enough and asked for a psych evaluation, and they determined that he needed to come out of the cell. And they maced him. They deployed him with a lot of mace. They were laughing about it. They maced him so much that they had to leave out to the sun deck so they could get fresh air, while us, the population that was in the cell witnessing this, all of us had to bandage up. The gas was coming in from everywhere, and we couldn't breathe. It was coughing, you were sneezing. It was just horrible. Maybe 5-10 minutes later, and the guy eventually came out on his own accord. It was never needed. It was never needed. While they took him out, they left us in the cell, and everybody in the pod started kicking the doors because the effects of them overgassing that individual, we all felt it. We all felt it. And some guys were saying that they felt like they were going to die because they had asthma and they couldn't breathe. So the COs came in, and like maybe someone made a call like a half an hour, 45 minutes later, and it took us all to the sun deck. But that was 45 minutes after we've all been contaminated.
As I'm looking around, I see like the people that are next to me, they see the same thing, the cloud moving, and they get up and run to get out of the way. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, these dudes are crazy. They're getting up to run away and risk getting shot at, not just by the block gun, but by an actual rifle that could kill them, just to get out of the way of this tear gas. So the cloud finally gets to us, and right away it's just like burning and coughing uncontrollably. There wasn't really even like a moment to take a breath. It's just non-stop coughing the whole time. And putting your shirt over your face doesn't help. It goes right through it. And everybody next to me is coughing and hacking. Their noses start running, so everybody's just like covered in snot. And it just kind of spoke volumes to me that people were risking their own lives just to get out of the way to not feel it.
My perspective is a little bit different because I was actually staff at CDCR. I worked in medical, but specifically psychiatric. And I did work with a very vulnerable population, and I saw them being taken advantage of multiple times, actually manipulating them to have a breakdown, and so that they could use the gas. We were told to leave inmates alone after they were gassed, and we had to attend to the correctional officers. And yeah, they got all the treatment. It infiltrates even the sheets and all the belongings of the person that's in their cell. So for days, they keep re-experiencing the gas.
Your throat gets tight. Your body naturally starts building up a lot of phlegm, so it gets hard to breathe. Yeah, it's just like a very burning sensation.
And right away, it's just like burning and coughing uncontrollably. Like I couldn't stop. There wasn't really even like a moment to take a breath. It's just non-stop coughing the whole time.
You can't see nothing, you're blinded. Being gassed feels like you are going to die, that no one's there to help you, no one's going to save you.
You want to take a deep breath in, but as soon as you do, it completely constricts your throat, and you're desperate, and I wasn't even the person being gassed.
And this cop's like 300 pounds, and he has his knee inside of my head, and as he's drilling his knee inside of my head, the other cop takes his pepper spray, point blank range, and sprays it in my face. So as I'm trying to breathe, I have to swallow this stuff because that's the only way I can get the next scope of air. And it's like, it's in my nose and trying to breathe. They put oxygen on me after that. And later on, I remember waking up with the little crack of with the smelling sauce they give you.
The substance stays in the air for a long time. I remember forgetting that those cans were even shot, so I got closer to the window after seeing them extract individuals in handcuffs, bent over, gasping for air, coughing up, and immediately I started feeling the effects again, so I backed away from the windows again, even with the windows closed.
It became much of like a torture device.
I mean, definitely a weapon of intimidation and torture.
Brutal, over the top, take advantage. It's not about bringing somebody in line. It's way over the top.
I describe tear gas as a weapon to oppress those who need help.